Guys, welcome back to the 8th episode of the Two Brits, One Yank podcast. Now, for anyone that's new around here, I'm one of the Brits, Sam Bone.
I'm the other Brit, so Wanjau-Smith.
This is the Yank.
Conor Kelly.
Conor
I can
Kelly.
speak for myself, mate.
Yeah, well, you've been speaking for the last 5 minutes, hasn't he, Tops? By the way, guys, they're laughing because they said this was going to take, what, 2 or 3 takes?
I guess 4.
It is, in fact, the first
Hey,
take.
brother, I have to give it up.
You should have
That's
seen he was getting
impressive.
into character
Cold.
before. He's, you know,
I couldn't stop sipping my coffee. I was that nervous. I swear to God. I was like, oh my God, I'm petrified here. No, but listen, obviously the last couple of episodes we've had guests on, the Lucas episode and Sam Corn's episode, which they've done really, really well. So the support has been amazing. We've really enjoyed having them on. We're going to be getting on more guests soon, so stay tuned. But today's episode is just literally a bit of everything, a weekly roundup. Connor wants to talk about his EFL team.
don't talk about that. We're not going to talk about
No,
it. We're not
first
gonna
off,
talk
I'm 8,000th in the
EFL.
world.
Bro said EFL.
Exactly, I've got no interest in it. What is it? The EFL?
FPL.
Let's talk about it. Let's
FPL.
talk about it. We've already
No.
there.
Hey, all I have to say, bro, 8 million players, 8,000th in the world. That's quite
Hey,
impressive.
that is cool.
Nope, I'm not going for it.
I'm not looking. I'm looking.
Come on. Hey, listen, I'm coming for the Maidstone title this year. I'm excited.
I've let myself down a little bit this year. I think I'm still top 200,000, but you've created a lot of daylight between us. So
It is
then
huge.
The next
I don't
person's
even
like
play it.
150 behind us.
It's
don't
lonely
play.
at the top, bro. It's lonely at
fact.
the
So
top.
how many leagues are you in?
2.
And yeah, I presume you're winning your
Yeah,
ones with the
winning
friends.
both, to be fair. So
The guy,
yeah,
he's been flexing about this all the time, hasn't he? So
He has.
they're just talking about it
It's actually
all
really
the
tough
time.
because I'm very competitive,
Yeah.
and he keeps on trying to talk to me about it, asking me what my transfers are and stuff, and I'm saying, don't talk to me, bro. Don't
Nah,
talk to me. And the thing is, though, sometimes we don't tell each other our transfers, and we do exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my God, I'm not going to catch you.
No, the thing is, I'm obviously not playing football. It's like been my big fix. Every Friday before the weekend, I go home, I watch YouTube videos.
Oh, so he's not even. It's not.
You're a loser.
Wait, no, but you heard that? He's just admitted that it's not his own ideas.
No.
He's been copying people online.
Oh,
No.
interesting.
Oh my God.
Don't give it that one. Don't give
The
it that
integrity.
one.
You've
Don't
lost the
give
integrity.
Don't give it that one because I'm better placed than all the YouTubers I watch. I just watch for advice and then I make my own decision once I go to a few guys.
So you actually dedicate
Wait,
a lot
so you're
of
not
time
even the
to it.
manager?
Sorry,
He's not even the manager.
sorry.
But so what is it? Is it just a flex that you can get on your friends?
Does a manager not have assistant managers in real life?
What,
So-
people they don't know?
This is a game.
People that don't work for them?
I feel like I know them. I watch them every week.
You've come across bad there. You've come across bad
No,
there.
bro. I take advice.
Is it?
from
Is it?
everyone.
What's it for? Like, why are you so passionate about it? Is it just genuinely a flex to say I'm better
It's
than
an
you?
ego
on-
thing.
No,
it's
no, it's
ball
fun.
knowledge. It's ball knowledge.
Okay,
not
so
fun.
like obviously being a Chelsea supporter, this season hasn't been the most fun to follow. Neither was last season, but
Why are you wearing your Chelsea pajama top today as well?
it's sick, bro. It's a retro. It shows that we have history pre 2004.
That is miles of it.
Brother, it fits
Lift
well
your
though.
trainers up as well.
No,
No.
what though? Let's go through the fit
Okay,
today.
go. Hey, no, I'm glad we brought up
snorted.
outfits, by the way,
That's not it,
because
sorry.
no, I'm glad we brought up.
the piggy next to me snorting.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at the trainers. Lift them up for the
Lift
viewers.
those up. How much do those cost as well? You couldn't pay me to wear
Fresh.
this. No, bro,
But you
listen,
can't.
I got
You,
these
it
for
wouldn't
free.
fit your style to
Listen.
wear them.
I
got these for
actually
free.
back Connor up here
You
because
said I get them for free.
no, Connor got
bro,
some
you had to
horrible.
pay
You've just
for
come
those.
across really bad there. You got
Yeah.
them for free. You're
Why?
flexing.
Nah, to
Damn.
be fair, that's my fault because I told Connor because obviously I take the mick out of what Connor wears a lot of the time. I said, look, people are paying for shoes like yours, Boney. They look horrible. At least he
Facts.
got given them. Do you know what I mean? At least he got given.
Bro,
them.
that's what they give the army people when they get to basic training.
Don't disrespect yourself.
Bro, literally,
No.
those are camouflage
Not now.
shoes. Come on.
Not now.
camouflage.
No, but hey, we went to watch our boy this weekend in the London Landmarks Half Marathon.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Tops, man.
He's grinning with pride behind
Smiling.
behind the camera. But these boys pulled up. They're always on about how good their fashion sense is. It's not good, by the way. And they wore the exact same thing.
Great minds think alike, I guess.
I was going to say, we've got drip.
There
Bro,
you go.
we're going to have to put it up. Who wore it better?
We could do
but-
that.
But then you'd
I don't
expose
think I'd have
yourself.
Then you expose your gear as well.
Brother, I was looking good.
No, he wasn't.
Bro,
like-
what was that little cream?
Yeah, come on. You
That
don't
was
know.
nice, but what about the shoes with it? Listen, it's the only thing that can fit on my ankle brace.
Yeah, facts. That's exactly what I was going to
Dodgy
say.
bowling
I can read you.
shoes.
Took the
I can
words
read
right
you.
out my
What?
mouth.
Oh, did you wear them ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not the bowling shoes that up on the Insta if anyone saw that.
And he wore cargos as well.
Damn.
I did.
And he always comes to your cargos.
Yeah.
Well, bro, this guy could be having dinner with the King of England, and he'd pull up in that blue jumper, the cargos, and the New Balance.
Hey, you gotta be comfortable.
You know what's so funny about that? You said that to me the other day. You were saying, I'm going to say that on the pod. And the next pod, he's been thinking about what to say.
You created a script all week to try and get me.
I meant to say it after the last pod. Like, when we left, I was like, oh, that would have been so good. Yeah, ruined my mind.
It's in his notes.
I was practicing the delivery in front of the mirror last night. Like, this is how it's going to sound. And it's going to hit.
I must say, today, you've had a bit of an error. And a big mistake.
I'm glad you pointed it out because I don't want the viewers just...
The moths have gotten in Sambo's closet.
People might not like my ripped jeans, but this is on purpose. This is on purpose. These, I don't know what you've been doing here. The hairs are coming through and everything. That's horrible.
Smiles off it.
We will set up a GoFundMe to try and get some new trousers.
Get sponsor this poor child.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Look, I'm a little bit embarrassed, to be honest. I did see...
Hang on, what about the 50 Shades going on here as well?
Don't disrespect yourself.
Genuine question.
Brother, you're in like 50 Shades of Dead Drip. Made no sense. Anyway. No, I did notice that in the mirror this morning. I thought I'd get away with it, but obviously, as how I'm sat, it probably comes up on the camera, which isn't great.
Sorry, you noticed it and said, "Nah, it's fine."
I'll get away
because
with
I've got 3 or 4 trousers, like the same trousers, but like I said to you off camera, 2 of them are too tight, one of them's too loose. Shout out the intense cut. And these ones are ripped. So I just said, right, I'll just wear these ones.
Would he wear the Macron pants for dinner with the King of England?
Facts.
Yes.
He would be.
Just, yeah, I would. Just tripped
Comfort,
out nice.
comfort.
Yeah, exactly. Comfort. Ugg slippers on.
So shout out to Tops. He obviously smashed it on his half marathon. We went to obviously go and watch him. There was a little part where it looped around before the finishing line. So we said, you know what, let's go see him and then we can quickly race across. And we were actually tracking someone else that we knew that was there. And we saw, oh my God, they're just coming up to the loop next to us. So Tops is running over there, or he's going to come in about 2 minutes. The person we're going to see is just here, about 10 steps away. We turn around, see this person. We watched them run past. Not walk, they were running, they were flying around. By the time we went to walk back to get to Tops, literally just turned around, he'd gone past and we missed him. And we've been stood there for like 20 minutes as well.
And then we were waiting for him. And in the tracker, it was like stood still, wasn't it?
Yeah, we thought,
like, where is he?
We can see he was walking.
We thought we
had to call him up and say, can you get a move on and start running?
We thought he had a cardiac arrest, I can't lie. He was just stationary.
It was. But it was a great day out, wasn't it?
Oh,
serious day out.
Great atmosphere, wasn't it?
Yeah, the vibes were so good. Like seeing everyone just running and the support from the sides. Sol was getting into it. Like shouting to randomers, one more corner.
Now, to be fair, there's a few people, and obviously you can see their name badge on their badge or whatever, and on their bib. And they were walking past, and I could see they were struggling, so I was getting in their ears. There was one lad, Spencer. Shout out Spencer if you're ever watching this.
Yeah.
Spencer, one more corner! And he looked at me like...
He started smiling, bless him.
And he started giving it some. Hey, that made my day. Day.
Yeah, it was nice, man. It was nice to be there. And
but the atmosphere, everyone was like so motivated. It actually motivated me to
I actually want to do one. I want to do one at the end of my career, so in about... 13, 14 years' time? What does that take me to? About 40. I'm hoping for a long career. But no, seriously, I do want to. That is something that I do want to tick off the bucket list.
Yeah, it's
marathon.
Just like
so cool.
How long did you train for, Tops? How many months?
Probably like 3-4 months.
3-4 months.
Yeah, it's so cool to see like the accumulation of such hard work being shown in one day, and yeah.
But we were talking about the training. Like you've just got to be so mentally resilient and I don't know, so like motivated, like to take yourself after a long day of work and go and run 10, 15k.
It's hours.
That's what I mean. That's the last thing you're thinking of when you get home from a long day of work. I've got to go and run 10k now.
Yeah.
If you told me to bloody run 2k, I'd be like, nah.
And we were saying as well, like Tops wants to get into full marathon running after this one, and I was just thinking, all these people are so knackered coming across the finish line. Imagine being like, yep, you've done it half. Now you have to go run the course again.
Shout out to Matt Wright as well. Matt Wright did the Brighton Marathon. And shout out to Henry Fowler, George Fowler's twin, because he also did the Brighton Marathon. Josh and
Oliver's dad.
Did he?
He did the Brighton one this weekend as well. Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
He did it this weekend. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Jenny did not know that. That's why they were there then with Fowler.
Yeah. They actually bumped into each other. We'll probably put the photo up or something.
Sorry. I thought they just had like a relative or someone that was doing it. Didn't realise it was actually him.
Yeah.
Happy days. Oh, fair play.
Cool.
Congratulations, bud.
Yeah, so I think that's actually a good place to bring Maidstone into. We've been on Oh, okay.
Oh, don't.
Sorry.
Do not disrespect yourself. For those of you that have seen my Instagram, I did in fact get Coventry promoted to the Premier League on FIFA. Was absolute scenes, by the way, wasn't it, Connor?
Yeah. Hey.
Connor, God bless him, he managed to catch the scenes. I was 2-0 down. We're probably going to lose viewers at this and say this is way too boring. But anyway, 2-0 down,
bought them anyway.
80th minute. Adama Traore steps up, did he?
Yeah.
2-1. Gets the assist for one of my... Who
He's a
scored the
pace
second
merchant.
goal?
He's a pace merchant.
I think it could have been one of my youth academy
I think it was Moss. That brother's not real,
that
is he?
brother's not real, yeah.
He's
Signed
not
him
real.
from-
Moss, I had Moss in mind.
No, Mass.
I
was gonna say.
Mass.
Yeah.
Signed him from Juventus,
What a
15 mil.
player. What a player, man.
Best transfer I've made so far. And then Adama Traore.
Oh,
I guess we're
wardrobe
gonna.
malfunction.
I guess we're gonna leave him like that for the episode
Yeah.
then.
Oh, no. He's stolen
Actually,
my moment.
we should change that real quick.
No, let's just
Oh,
keep it.
leave
All
it.
right, all right.
Freaking panicking. Adama Traore steps up, 94th minute. Bearing in mind there was only 3 minutes added time. Scores and gets me to the Prem.
He's getting a statue outside
He's
the
playing.
CBS.
He's playing on semi-pro,
Facts. No, I'm not.
and he's celebrating like he just won the
No,
World
I'm
Cup.
not. I'm playing on world class.
Hey,
Connor vouch.
What about your assistant gaffer? At halftime, we were down 2-0, and I gathered the boys around. I said, listen, boys, I'm going to become a head coach in the MLS. This is my last game with yous.
Brother, you're
And I would
embarrassing
like to say-
yourself.
I would like to say,
You
I
were
will-
talking to the
Virtual
screen.
players. Do you know, he actually said this to me yesterday. He said, the pod are going to love this as well.
I didn't say that part. I was just saying about the promotion.
Nah, he was. Shout out Connor, man.
Yeah.
No, you actually, to be fair, I didn't realise you was recording me. And that was genuine when I started celebrating like that. Call me a sourdough, 25 years of age. But I was absolutely
They were
buzzing.
legit tears.
And I went live yesterday. So when this comes out, well, actually, this comes out on Sunday. Hopefully, we'll be in the Champions League by then.
Yeah,
But join the lives. I'm going to start going live on the 2 Brits, 1 Yank TikTok.
Can you imagine the scenes in real life when we, if knock wood, we get promoted?
Oh.
Imagine Sam Bone on the pitch after. Think
Yeah.
of it. He was saying vamos. He had tears in his eyes. What's he gonna be
Vamos.
doing in real life?
No, seriously, I was really, really pleased. But that brings us nicely to the...
The Champions League.
Oh, so
No.
we could talk.
Playoffs.
We could talk about Maidstone now.
I know we can, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. For guys, so for any of you that maybe don't follow Maidstone, we actually secured playoff places the other day, didn't we?
Yeah.
In the win against
Farnborough.
Farnborough, yeah. 1-0 win.
Not like you played or anything.
Yeah, I know. Come on for 10 minutes. Yeah, beat
Short-term
Farnborough
memory.
1-0 to secure playoff. So happy days. We won last night.
Yeah, very good run of form. 22
yeah.
points from the last 24
24,
available.
yeah.
So
We're on a good streak at the minute.
yeah,
It's good to
hopefully peaking at the right time.
yeah, take that momentum into the playoffs now. So
Yeah, and just to clarify for everyone, how it works is the team in first place in the National South, which right now is Yeovil. I think they need one more point to win the league. The winner of the league will go up, and then places 2 through 7 will be fighting for promotion. So places 2 and 3 will automatically get a bye into the semifinal, and the rest of the places will play obviously in the quarters, where they'll go face 2 and 3.
It's called the eliminator round.
Yeah,
But it's all one leg. So it's literally,
Yeah.
you play at the highest ranked team's home ground. So finishing second and third, you have to play one less game. And if you manage to finish second, then you know that if you win both your games, or you win the first semi-final, you know you're going to have a home final.
Yeah.
So it's really, really important.
not
yeah,
neutral.
and that
really
would-
important.
that's really what we're shooting for. Is,
yeah,
is
try
to
and
get
finish
second.
as high as possible. Yeah.
Transition into a bit higher level of football, the Prem. There's some running we're in for, huh?
Ooh, yeah, we're in for a good one.
I'm getting a little bit nervous now.
Yeah.
7 games to go for Arsenal.
Yeah. What is it?
Can
What's
we
the
do it?
table looking like?
I think we're both on 71 points, us in Liverpool, and then just behind us is Man City on 70. But I think we're 10 goal difference clear of them. So
Yeah.
it's so tight. It's so tight. And we have such a hard run. And we have Tottenham away, we have Man United away, and then
Chelsea.
we also have Chelsea,
Yeah, I know
Chelsea,
Chelsea
at
at
home.
home,
But
yeah.
I'm less worried about Chelsea at home, to be honest,
Really?
in comparison to Spurs and United away.
Yeah, of course.
Because I just feel like away from home, I'm just not too sure about going there.
Hey, listen. The one thing about Chelsea, they're always involved in the title race, whether they're in 10th or in first, because that Chelsea, one of the most famous results at Stamford Bridge in the last 10 years,
Battle of the Bridge.
is beating Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, to stop. In my opinion, it's so overplayed because Leicester were going to win it regardless, but it does just make it better that they became champions because Chelsea drew Spurs.
But the mental thing about that, though, is that Spurs ended up finishing third as well.
Yeah, Arsenal
And then
overtook them.
Arsenal overtook them.
Yeah.
And it was like the
Really?
massive thing that made
But you
made
forget
Leicester
about
win the
that.
league.
You actually forget about that because I remember it just being Leicester and Tottenham. I wouldn't have known that Arsenal actually finished second in the end.
Funny enough, I actually think I remember it more because it's like, oh, they put the pressure on Leicester, and they still weren't even the closest to
mental.
them.
That's what who are you going for actually?
What do you mean?
Like to win the league? Like who would you be vouching for?
You know what? I think just City's habit of winning, treble winners.
You're going for City again?
I agree.
Oh no, as in no. I meant who do you want to see win?
Oh yeah, I would say City as well. Yeah.
Really?
If obviously Arsenal don't win it,
nah.
I'd rather City win it than Liverpool.
Nah, because then Jurgen Klopp will go off on a high.
Don't care.
I don't care.
Don't care.
Ah, you boys are ruthless, man.
Nah,
Jurgen
what do you
Klopp
mean?
going off
Here's
on
the
a
way.
high.
Here's the way
I
I
have more
look at
friends
it.
that are Liverpool fans than Man City fans.
But then my granddad, I
Oh,
really
okay. I'm
want
sorry. I
Arsenal
actually
to
want
win.
Arsenal because of your granddad.
Because
No,
my
bro.
granddad is such a big.
Shout out to your granddad, but
No,
bro,
I'm not saying. I'm giving you my point of view as to who
Yeah.
I
Oh,
want
okay.
to win.
Anyway, the heart.
you can't tell me no,
My
and
poor
then there's
granddad.
your reasons.
What about my granddad?
My poor granddad. No, I want obviously Arsenal to do it because my granddad, bless him, he puts in the group chat every time Arsenal play, takes a selfie.
Yes, the slippers.
the slippers
Has
are
the
so
Arsenal
cold.
slippers and all, like, do you know what I mean? He's getting on. I need him to see Arsenal win the league.
He's got an Arsenal
He's
fan.
seen it, bro. He saw an invincible season.
No, but like with under Arteta and stuff like. Honestly, my granddad is mad. My nan goes ballistic at him in Cyprus when I go there because he'll start like shouting. And my nan's like, Clive, will you shut up? He's like, Anne, just go upstairs.
What about the guy this weekend when we were watching
Oh,
Liverpool
no, please,
United?
don't.
Oh my god.
We're in Redwoods.
Embarrassing.
And he had an absolute meltdown.
He was shouting at random people.
And the craziest part about this guy, I actually think he was a normal person.
Yeah.
Like he was a normal guy and he's just so passionate about football. He was having a mental breakdown
Yeah,
in a pub
literally.
full of like 200
And
people.
his son was beside him.
who had just
Who
run
just
the
ran
He
out.
house.
was
Marathon, yeah.
bright red every time he was shouting something. Like, you know, one of them ones when you laugh, but you're actually really embarrassed. You're like, that's literally what it was like. And his face was bright red, bless
Oh
him.
my
The
God.
best video.
If that
is
was
when-
my dad, I'll tell you
best
what.
video is when Salah scores the pen and he's like this, and then
Did we get
he's,
that?
he's
Did
looking.
you get
Nah,
it?
but I don't know. I don't think
Oh,
we
we
can
can't put
expose
it
him.
up.
We
Oh
can't
my
expose
god!
him.
I'll say what happened. He's like this, looking the wrong way. The pen goes in and he's like this, eyes closed, Just give it
facing
the
the other
finger
way.
wag. Just give it the finger wag.
And there was like one person wearing a United top, and the guy had no interest in going back and forth with the fan because the guy was obviously supporting
he
Liverpool.
was shouting at him.
Yeah.
And he's shouting at him for 90 minutes, and the guy's just like, "Leave me alone."
Yeah.
He actually looked like Pep as well.
Yeah, he was a spitting image of Pep. He was the Scouse Pep. But going back to it, the reason I want City to win, right, is Arsenal fans, they'll be giving it the big one. Liverpool fans, they'll never shut up about it. City fans, personally, I actually don't know any. Right? Do you know any City fans?
I got one of my boys is a
Yeah.
City fan,
The
but
one-
more of my boys are Liverpool fans.
The one thing I'm worried about is, well, first off, let's get this out of the way. Chelsea's a bigger club than Arsenal. City, if they win another
Do you
Champions
actually think
League,
Chelsea is a bigger club than Arsenal?
I had
just
this
because of the Champions
Who did I
League.
had
I
this
think
debate with?
2 Champions League, 2 Europa Leagues. I think because of that we're clear. Obviously, historically, it's been Arsenal, but I think now
I didn't
Chelsea's
agree.
taking the
That's a
cake.
good little topic, actually.
I agree.
Comments.
But real quick, we'll talk about this. I think if City win another Champions League, they're going to have a case to say, oh, we're actually a bigger club than Chelsea. Which that's the one thing I'm worried about with them winning all the time. But yeah, I love
City's a bigger club than Chelsea.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
City aren't bigger
They were
than
in
Chelsea.
League One in like 1999.
City aren't bigger than Chelsea.
Nah. But yeah, I do think so that Chelsea is a bigger club than Arsenal. Just
I just
because
feel like if you compare, I don't know, like the share of say like London and boys that we know, I feel like Arsenal is just such a bigger club.
Who would you say the biggest club in England is?
United.
I say
yeah, it's
United.
United. United just for the brand and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But I feel like Arsenal is a bigger brand than Chelsea.
could be.
I think Arsenal is a
Could
bigger
be.
brand than Chelsea now. I think so.
But I think for instance, if you're a Chelsea fan, you'd have more like you have so many things over Arsenal fans, which is kind of why I'm saying bigger
No,
club.
of course. And obviously the Champions League, like, well,
The two Champions Leagues is
Yeah.
massive. The one I think it was like, because if 2006 goes differently, Arsenal would have the same thing,
Yeah.
you know?
You're saying Arsenal's a bigger brand than Chelsea at the moment, is it?
I think Arsenal is a bigger brand than Chelsea.
I'd have to disagree.
You reckon?
Yeah. I
You're
just think
also a Chelsea
Chelsea's-
fan.
Yeah, but I'm just from a neutral point of view. I'm just
I'm a Chelsea fan,
brainstorming.
but from a
I've just been
neutral point of view.
brainstorming here while them two were talking. But I just think like Chelsea's huge, like around the world. You see when they go to Asia and all.
Yeah, but
No, that's every
Yeah,
English
but like
club.
you know,
bro.
in Africa, how massive Arsenal are.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah, that's very true.
anyone of like African descent, I feel like is
Yeah,
a massive.
that's very
and
true.
then you
Very
say,
true.
if you go to South Korea, Tottenham. There's more Tottenham fans from South
Yeah.
Korea than there is in England.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. I just wanted to jump in the conversation. I'm out of my depth here, though.
Nah, it's a weird one. That's why the early 2000s was definitely Chelsea's era after 2004, right? Obviously, Arsenal had the invincible season. And then the 2010s, Chelsea
Yeah, that is
dominated
true.
that in comparison to Arsenal. But now, bro, with Chelsea doing this project and
The baseball project.
yeah, we're in very early stages of a project that might not work, and you're at the end of a project. It might go the other way. I could see Arsenal winning a few Champions Leagues in the near future.
It's an
Yeah.
exciting time to be an Arsenal fan. A very exciting time to be an Arsenal fan. I think we'll touch on the Champions League in a little bit,
Yeah.
but that is definitely a thing that we need, that European success.
I just
to
don't
really cement ourselves as a.
I don't see how you mess up the club going forward. There's such a good atmosphere. All the players are young. Yeah, well, I'm not
Not
going to
you.
touch wood. I hope you mess it up somehow. But I think basically you guys are just waiting for Pep to get bored of managing City. I think it's his creation, so he might be there a while. But
Where do you reckon Arsenal need to strengthen?
I still
in
think we
what-
need like an out and out number 9.
That's what I was going to say. I'm so glad you said that.
I'd love like an Ivan Toney, to be honest.
Yeah.
Or someone like that.
Yeah.
what about Osimhen? Would you like him?
I'm just not.
I don't know if it works.
I don't know if it works either, because it's similar thing. Like in Serie A, such high defenses, high lines, whereas we play in England, it is just chess. And
Yeah.
the way that Arsenal play is just chess. Like to be able to unlock a defense, to pick a team apart, you need to be so good back to goal, and you need to be basically just be a link man. And we create so much from Saka and Martinelli, or Saka and Trossard,
Yeah.
or Saka and Jesus out wide.
Yeah.
Create so much and get so many goals for us and opportunities that sometimes the number 9 isn't actually pivotal into scoring, which is why now Havertz is playing up there. Havertz has actually transitioned after trying to play him in the number 8, which I don't think actually worked.
No.
He's actually being quite good and just being a handful up there.
Yeah. No, I think it's overblown, this need for a striker. I mean, look at City. Yeah, they've done unreal since getting Haaland. But how many Prems did Gabriel Jesus win? 4? And he was the main point of attack in probably 2 of those.
You're right.
You know,
Yeah.
I think if you rotate Havertz and Jesus and just strengthen other areas, I reckon you could do it as well. I mean,
hope
it might
they
happen
did
this
this year.
season.
And I mean, defensively,
Yeah.
we've been so good, especially recently. We've been
Yeah.
so good.
Saliba's
I'm
so
looking-
good, man.
That's what
Yeah.
killed you last season, was Saliba getting injured.
Literally. As
Yeah.
soon as that back injury happened. Obviously, Timber, we've been unlucky with Timber this
Oh,
year.
yeah, I've
He's
even
back in
forgot
training.
about that, brother.
This week was the first full session. It's the first
you
full
forgot
session
about
of
him.
every single fit player we've had.
Wow.
Him and who is it for United? Malacia. They just came and basically have been injured the whole season, haven't
Wait,
they?
has he been injured?
Yeah, Tyrone Malacia.
He was right last season, though.
What's he
played a little
done?
bit last season.
Do you know what he's done? Or he's just out for a long period?
I don't
of
know.
time?
One of them was an
Can't
ACL. It was Timber that was an ACL,
Yeah,
right?
Tim Basie
Yeah.
on the
And then
Premier
I don't know what Malacia was, but he's been out like the whole season.
remember. He has, yeah. I haven't seen him for a
Yeah.
while.
And then
now.
Luke Shaw was like,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
what
they
they
had
had
to
to
get
Wan-Bissaka.
and they had to get Reguilon in on loan.
Yeah.
What a weird loan
He's
that
at Brentford
was.
now, isn't he?
What a weird season he's had. Yeah.
Hey, what about that? Him in FPL? We put him into our FPL team.
So yeah, I put him in. He had a great fixture. I forget who he was playing against, and
It was the free hit week, though, wasn't it?
yeah, it was the free hit. And I was like, you know what? He's gonna be my differential, because you want to have players that aren't in everyone's team, because if they do well, you really reap the benefits. Like when Haaland scores, it really doesn't do me any benefit, because 90% of players have him. So I was like, Reguilon's gonna get me over the line this week. After 10 minutes, he got sent off.
No.
Yeah, and they got battered as well. And because he got sent off, he's the reason they're conceding goals. So every time they would concede, it would still hurt him, even
Right.
though he's not even playing. So he killed me. I think he got me like minus 3 points.
-3, yeah.
Yeah.
So I had him as well.
Damn.
Yeah.
Absolute
Unlucky.
nightmare.
But
Unlucky
yeah, I
bud.
guess let's transition now to talking about Champions League. What the fixtures last night were unbelievable. Shame
Yeah.
we had a game and couldn't watch. I'm gonna expose this. We couldn't watch the full matches.
I've done my. I've watched it.
He's done
Yeah.
his research in the
Done my
car on the way
research.
here.
Yeah.
On the way, yeah. Mind you, I actually missed the Real Madrid. I only saw 2 goals. But that Arsenal Bayern game looked serious.
Talk us
Yeah.
through it.
Ben White's chance. Ooh. Damn. And then Neuer scooping it over the fella and just clipping it with his left foot. That's all I needed to see. That was
Yeah.
incredible.
That game was
To do that under that pressure as well.
and
Nerves
to
of steel.
win a penalty from that is
Yeah.
so important. It kind of
Oh,
goes through
yeah, of
like
course.
in modern football, while like playing out from the back is so important. I remember like there's a clip that I saw, and it was like 2013 Barca versus Real Madrid, and Victor Valdez gives away a goal to Benzema after like 20 seconds, right? And
Yes, seen
it's
it.
such a massive game. I think it's for the title at that point. And Guardiola's like, no, it's okay. And Valdez, they kept playing through him. He actually started 2 goals.
Really?
And it's like, even though he gave up a goal, if he just hoofed it long every time,
Wouldn't have gone.
yeah, they wouldn't have scored the 2.
So yeah, obviously it was a massive game last night for Arsenal. Having no Bayern fans in the stadium, I do feel like it was a bit of a missed opportunity. But being 2-1 down to manage to rescue a draw to take it into the away leg, I still will take it. Trossard off the bench, obviously unbelievable from Gabriel Jesus, but that Trossard is just so good off the bench. For
Saves
us.
you like every week, doesn't it?
It's mental.
Yeah.
And even like on the weekend against Brighton, he came on, boom, still scored minute 3-0. Do you know what I mean? Just
Crazy Deserby just kind of froze him out as well. He's so good.
Yeah, was that because of his attitude?
Could
he
have been.
wanted out.
I think he wanted out
because he was like a star player for them.
Yeah.
He celebrated. He celebrated.
Did he?
Yeah.
Cold.
Yeah.
Very cold.
Speaking of, I was surprised Gnabry celebrated because he loves Arsenal.
Yeah, there's actually pictures of him in like Arsenal shirts and stuff.
Yeah, when he bagged, what was it, 4 against Spurs, he was like, London is red.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I was really surprised he did his celebration, yeah.
Especially when there's no Bayern fans in the stadium or anything.
Yeah, he gave it a little
Why
stir.
wasn't there
Yeah,
any
little-
Bayern fans?
They're banned.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know why they're banned.
I can't remember exactly. Do you
Yeah.
see they were all there? Do you see they travelled? And they had like a massive banner and stuff.
That's sick.
And there's a
The
video.
German fans are so good on that.
There was a video actually
Dortmund
of
fans.
There's a video of Bayern fans in the stadium. When they went 2-1 up when Harry Kane scored, they were celebrating.
No way.
And they got kicked out.
It's like when I go undercover to West Ham to watch Chelsea.
In fact, we've actually got to do that. We've got to go to a Bayern game.
Yeah.
We've got to, because I heard the tickets are so cheap.
They're really cheap.
Yeah, because it's all about that 50+1 rule. Like the fans have like ownership rights.
Yeah.
The
we've
majority.
got to go.
So
We've
they're
got
in
to
such
go,
control.
boys. 100%.
Yeah.
And do a pod out there or something.
Yeah,
Get one
and-
the Marco Royce on, shall we?
Yeah, I mean that would be we can dream, right?
Exactly.
We'll get Paul's mate Musiala on.
Yeah,
Yes.
Paul Affia's friend from the Chelsea days.
Oh, we've got a story. We've got a
We'll
story.
expose that today, but we've got a very good story.
That one day will come out. But
What do you boys think about the Saka penalty incident?
well, first off, let's just say Bayern deserved a penalty as well.
Yeah, 100%.
That's I can't
100%.
believe if what Tuchel said is right.
yes,
He doesn't want to give a penalty over a children's error.
Yeah, kids error.
Sorry, like
Yeah.
it's a chance.
The mental thing is that the ref. Well, at first I didn't realize the ref had actually blown the whistle, which they'd obviously like slowed it down and they showed everyone. When Gabriel handballs it, the ref then stops it again. No.
Yeah.
And then, so almost we took the
Tells
goal
him to
kick 3
retake.
times.
Yeah, it tells him to retake the
I
goal
didn't
kick.
see it. It was not on the TNT highlights.
Yeah. So Raya plays it, Gabriel, right? He handballs it, puts it down like he's going to take the goal kick,
Takes it.
takes it. The referee blows the whistle once he handballs it and tells him to retake it.
It was basically
How's that
mental.
work?
But the ref said because
basically-
it's such a big game in the Champions League quarter final. He was like, we're not gonna. He's like, that's a kid's mistake. Quarter final Champions League. I'm not gonna call something out of that. But that's why I actually
Rules
think
are
that,
the rules, no?
No,
Yeah.
100%, 100%. It should be a penalty. But that's why I also think that when it came to the Saka incident, the ref decided I'm not going to give that penalty. Because
Yeah.
I think if that's given by the ref, that doesn't get overturned.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
But
The-
I don't
the-
know whether
the
it
rules
was
of
a
VAR.
penalty.
I don't know, but
It's not a penalty.
It's not a penalty.
I'm telling you, with the way that VAR is, if the ref gives that, they won't overturn that.
It's not obvious. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they never fail to surprise me because they have this set of guidelines. Oh, we only go for clear and obvious errors. They go
But Champions League,
all the time.
Champions League and Prem is very, very different as well.
Yeah, it's done better in Champions
Yeah,
League.
it's
isn't
done
it?
better.
So I think Saka, right? He's dribbling past Neuer there. Neuer does stick his leg out. If Saka just runs into his leg, it's fine. But bro, if you look at the position of Saka's leg, that's so unnatural.
Yeah.
He's put his leg up
Exactly.
to make sure he gets contact.
Exactly.
I actually will give the ref credit. If what you're saying isn't true, like he forgot about that, whatever, and he was just taking it for that individual moment, I think it's unbelievable that he's seen Saka do that and not given a penalty. Because it looks like a stonewall penalty.
I also
but
think
when
that
they go to
Neuer-
replay it, I
Neuer
don't think
also
it is.
sticks his leg out though. He also
You can say he's in the way though of his like where he's going with the ball.
Yeah, but
and he
but
sticks his leg out. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean?
You have to do.
Like
you have
he's
to take the
obstructed
contact.
him.
You
yeah,
have to take
but
the contact.
obstruction's not a penalty.
Yes.
That's an indirect free kick. If the ref gave obstruction there, which you never see called,
No, that's not obstruction though. You know that's not obstruction.
But that-
he sticks his leg out.
yeah, but so does Saka. That's what I'm saying.
But I think that he might have
Listen.
gone into the contact, but if a keeper's going to stick their leg out or a defender's going to stick their leg out for you to fall over or for you to be able to do that, it's not like he's flung his leg out Ashley Young style or Wanjau-Smith style into the. I'm joking.
I'm so glad that you brought this up because, by the way, obviously Sol had his first start back from injury last night.
3 months.
Yeah, I was buzzing for that.
Yeah, the boy balled out as well.
Yeah, he was good performance.
Sketches.
Non-league Ollie Watkins.
And
Wally Watkins.
and yeah, how many pen wins is that this season?
The 8th pen win of the season. I want to go double figures.
Yeah, what is that? 19 in 3 seasons you're
19,
saying?
yeah, I think 10 now for Maidstone, and then my previous season for Hungerford.
And you
9.
didn't have much of a season last year. To have 19 and 3.
I had two still last year.
And how many games? Like 14, 15?
Yeah.
Imagine if you played 46 games. Like, Jesus. But
It's brother.
I will say
his stats are based off how many times he wins a penalty.
Hey, but
he
guys-
doesn't care about
guys,
goals
I
or
know, I
assists.
was
it's so impressive. He doesn't dive.
Yeah,
They're all
it'd be
penalties.
a nightmare. It'd be a nightmare to mark you in the box.
Do you know, someone actually messaged me after the Winchester game, and they said that, like, it was an analyst, and he said that teams look for players who can win 3 or more penalties a year because each penalty is seen as 0.75 xg.
Yeah,
So-
that's expected goals.
Expected goals.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh well, obviously I win quite a lot of penalties. Let's see how many I can get. So my aim is. Should I say my aim? I would like to win 10 penalties this season because I think that'd be quite a cool stat.
Everyone else aims for goals, assists, promotion. Sol goes, yeah, my
penalties
number
can
one
I
aim is to get 10
Well, I
penalty
actually have
wins.
8 goals this season and 8 pen wins, so I need to make sure I'm on 17 goals and assists now. So I need to make sure I get to 20.
I think for the brand, you're going to be pass first for the rest of the season and just fishing for a penalty. But
Going back to the Arsenal buying game, who do you reckon's taking that in the second leg?
I think it's gonna be so hard away from them.
Yeah,
I think Bayern will do
I
it.
was gonna say I think Bayern would do it.
And the one thing that Bayern has going for them, I mean, they wouldn't prefer this, but they're not going to win the league. It's Leverkusen's
Yeah.
to lose versus Arsenal. You have to really keep an eye on both, and you do have a better chance of winning the Premier in first position if you just win the rest of the games you're in. Versus Champions League is so hard, much harder I think than the run in the Prem.
I agree.
So yeah, I reckon Arsenal would. Bayern will do it. Maybe it's the subconscious talking.
Yeah.
I don't want to expose it.
They're manifesting Arsenal.
Leverkusen though, talking of Leverkusen, undefeated all season in all competitions.
competitions.
And you know who's going to end it? West Ham. West Ham's going
Up
to
the
end
Hammers.
it. I think
yes.
West Ham will do it, yeah.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think based on what happened last season, and again, not really playing for the Prem as much, I think they're really going to try to go for the Europa League. And it is different. The Prem is such a more competitive level of play. I think West Ham's 7th maybe in the Prem right now.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Do you reckon they'll do it? Yeah.
I reckon they'll.
When is that
I'm not
game?
saying they'll win the tie.
This week.
Tomorrow, no?
I'm not saying they'll
Yeah.
win the tie, but I
Okay.
think they're going to win one of the matches.
One of the legs.
Yeah.
Just take that undefeated from them.
Should we talk? Let's touch upon the other Champions League quarterfinal.
This
What
is where
a
I'm
game
stuck.
that was.
This is where I'm stuck.
That was a
because,
classic, another classic. Some of the standards of goals in that game were ridiculous.
City's 3 goals are absolute worldies as well.
Ridiculous.
Bernardo Silva, like, just the guile that he has to do that. You know, by the way, I've tried that because obviously taking set pieces. I've tried that so many times and it's never worked. It's never worked. And you just look like such a donut when you're in a crossing position. All the center halves run up and you're like, nah, I can shoot this. The keeper reads you and all the 6'4" center halves that have just ran. What are you doing? Oh, damn. Yeah.
Bro, the levels in that standard must be scary.
Yeah.
We've touched upon it in the other episodes, but like going back to Ipswich, when we played against them, they were so good. Could you imagine what like Bernardo Silva's like?
Well, we mentioned, and he didn't play in the Champions League, but Elikobie was saying about the Prem. The hardest part about the Prem is just the mental fatigue that you have. It's just, you can't switch off for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
They'll play, especially as a defender, they'll play right by you and they'll score. You could have an unbelievable 89 minutes.
Yeah.
You have a lapse in concentration for a minute, you look like an idiot.
And
Really?
exactly what we were saying when we were watching the Liverpool United game. Just like
Yeah.
how end-to-end it was.
Yeah.
How
The
many...
fitness levels.
we said that it was just knackering, but even mentally, just to watch the game and to think that, if you're out of position by a metre,
Literally.
they score.
Yeah.
And then you got to switch on then to the flipping the counter attack.
Yeah.
That transition from defense to attack.
Yeah.
And then if it breaks down, then you got to defend again. And it's not like you've got flipping some other player run at you. It's Rashford or
Salah.
or Hoyland or Salah.
literally like
Diaz.
a perfect athlete as well as an unbelievable footballer.
That's
But even
scary.
look at Quansah when he made that mistake, passed it to Bruno, and Bruno still just scores from just inside the half.
First time across his body.
You can't. They punish you.
Konsa just did. It was a bit of a lazy pass.
Yeah.
Didn't really concentrate, and boom.
You get punished at that level.
It's crazy.
Then shout out Kobe Mino. What a finish.
Oh,
First goal at
I
Old
think
Trafford.
I think he needs to start potentially for England.
do you reckon?
I don't think he should start.
In the midfield of who?
No. So if Southgate's going more defensive, right, which he probably everyone has that midfield three they want of Foden, Bellingham, and Rice.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll put Bellingham deep. I think he could because Bellingham is definitely he's playing obviously false nine for Madrid, but he's kind of an 8. I would say that's his profile. I wouldn't be surprised if he puts him in the 10, and then puts two defensive midfielders.
Where does Sam Corn get into this?
I'll tell you what, if we get playoffs, he might be. You had Theo Walcott in 2006. You're gonna have Sam Corn as the surprise inclusion in 2024. But no, I think again, especially against the bigger nations. While I think you should just do the midfield three of Foden, Bellingham, and Rice. I wouldn't be surprised if you want two defensive midfielders.
Who do you actually think plays off the left?
I think it'll be Grealish.
I think Grealish. Now Grealish is
Rashford was in my head. But
He's on such good form as well, Grealish. This weekend against City, while I don't think he registered any assist, he's involved in every goal.
Really?
He's so people get so caught up in stats, and I do myself. I love stats. He is so beyond stats and so important to the way they play. Like if you look at his City career, and you say, 100 million, like the stats aren't really looking worth it. But then you look at his contributions in the end of last season to win the treble, and now in the run-in as well. I think he has to get in. Rashford's been off form. Rashford last season, he's unbelievable. But this year, I think he might.
His work rate off the ball as well.
Yeah,
I've seen a few videos on Twitter.
Embarrassing.
I actually saw something last week.
Good work in Ella Kobe's team, that's for sure.
But I saw something last week. There was like a snippet of him against Chelsea.
Yeah.
And
he came off the bench.
I'm not
as
even
well.
going to say in fairness, they were 3-2 up.
Yeah.
But still, you gotta have that drive. I'm not saying he doesn't have that drive, but you've got to
just
press with
floating
intent.
about.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happened with him as well, because he got benched that game. Anthony started over him. He had an unbelievable assist to Garnacho.
Yeah.
So you would think he would come on and be like, I'm annoyed that I'm not starting. Maybe he's been rested again. We don't know the ins and the outs. But you'd think he's going to be flying, and he's doing that, coming on, and then Chelsea win.
I'll tell you one brother I cannot stand. Look at me pointing as well. I'm passionate about this. Anthony. I hate him, boys. I hate him. You see when he nearly cost him the other day?
Yeah.
When the dive, when
Yeah,
he
that's
and
ridiculous.
then he starts shouting at the ref.
And got booked for it.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the video when he's in the corner like doing all those step overs and he dribbles it out of play?
He's like,
And the liner gives it the other way. He's like starts shouting at the liner. Brother, you just kicked it out of play.
I think that's actually a danger as well of when you get a new manager and they're able to do their recruiting and they have their players that they love, right? Like Ten Hag. Ten Hag hasn't seen the Prem, right?
Yeah.
He's only been the Eredivisie, and he was great for him at Ajax. He's like, no, this is my one player we have to get. The club wastes 100 million. Say they sack Ten Hag, you're stuck with him.
Shame.
And he
look-
looks like a 20 million pound player max.
compared the 100 million of Grealish to the 100 million of.
Is that what they paid for him?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
damn.
while I love what he did for Chelsea, Antonio Conte, he actually killed Chelsea for the next few years with his recruitment. Like the players he brought in, Bakayoko, Zappacosta, Drinkwater. And when the manager does their recruiting and they get sacked, they're just stuck with them. And that's very expensive, and especially with all the FFP and stuff, financial
What is
fair play.
Drinkwater doing now?
He's retired.
Yeah, he did.
So-
retire.
Yeah, he went on.
I think he was
it
on
was-
a. He was on a podcast.
podcast.
Actually.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
hyper. I think. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Darius,
Yes.
yeah.
I actually
Yeah.
haven't seen it, but I saw a
listened
snippet
to
of
it.
it.
I've listened to it.
So
Good?
it's a weird one.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. He gives it a bit like, don't get me wrong, he's hard on himself, but it's a bit of like a sob story, and it's like you kind of did it to yourself.
Yeah.
I do struggle feeling bad for people when it's self-destruction,
Yeah.
Like he was on top of the world, he should have probably been called up for Euro 2016 with England, but he was getting England call-ups, won the league, and he went
Then
to
got a big
Chelsea
move.
and
you know who I'm
over 100
scared who
grand a
could
week.
make a similar transition? Phillips. He's
Yeah.
having a torrid time at West Ham.
Watching
at the minute.
the Man City documentary on Netflix.
Yeah.
You haven't watched it.
6-year deal.
6 years nearly signed. 6 years, and then obviously he's
Okay.
really struggling.
Yeah.
I think, he's a bit different. I think he's just on bad form. I think he didn't play for a year, and he didn't play for a year and a half. And then he comes into West Ham and it's hard to get up to the speed. You saw the pen he gave up against Newcastle. It's just like a lack of match fitness.
Exactly. It goes back to there being mentally switched on.
Yeah.
Your mind's tired and you go, oh, just dangle me leg just to try and get the ball. It's a penalty or something.
Because the difference is Drinkwater was going out all the time. He got injured from a fight.
But I remember him
driving,
playing when he went on loan to Villa. I remember watching it when I was at Waterford.
He headbutted someone there.
Yeah, but he had a really bad game against someone, and then just the media and all killed him.
Yeah.
And like he just never, I'm not going to say the same, but he just couldn't get to his levels then after that.
But you know what? Careers are about highs and lows, right? And no one will ever be able to take away from the fact that he was so instrumental.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why Chelsea bought him, because he was so good with Conte next to him.
He won the league with Leicester.
Yeah.
Like
I was actually listening to someone about Kante, and they were saying that like he was playing left wing. They were playing as a left winger before, and then he wasn't any good, really. He wasn't anything special. And then someone got injured, and then they had to play him in midfield, and for the next 60 minutes, they were just like, who the hell is this?
Yeah,
like, he just, the way he was able to just like get the ball back was mental.
How do you cover? In fact, that's a good question. How do you cover that much ground?
But it's just like one speed. But he's so fast.
But he just looks like he's never tired.
But you know the way that
he just glides.
You know the way that Jeffy tackles. He does like that foot that wraps around and
he
stays on his feet.
Yeah.
That's exactly how Kante like tries to tackle. Like
Conte has to be, for me, one of the weirdest players I've ever watched, because they say he like took over the Makelele role. Makelele was a very like sound looking footballer, and Conte is such a weird. He was in like the 3rd division of France at like 22, and then you have that famous tweet, Man City, saying like, "We'll have a chance in this game if we can get by N'Golo Conte."
Yeah,
and that's 8-9 years later. And then what they buy him for, like $2 million, and then sold him for his release clause at 32.
Was it from the
much?
Was
Maybe
it the French
1-5?
second division?
No, he was playing in Ligue 1. I think it was for, I'm going to butcher the name, Caen, C-A-E-N.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know how you say it. We have a resident French speaker.
I didn't have to say it.
Caillon.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, he had a release clause of $32 million, thinking no one would pay that. Chelsea was like, thank you very much. Yeah, and what
a nice guy as well, man.
Yeah.
That's someone you just
Welcome to match day.
everyone.
You would love
how
to
can you not like him?
You would love to be in a change
He
room
used to
with
drive
him.
in his Mini or something.
Yeah.
Do you remember when they
he
had
used to run into training when he was playing in France.
Yeah.
So then they were like, you can't run in. So he started cycling into training. They were like, N'Golo, you can't cycle to training.
Wasn't
Yeah,
there a story when he was
Okay.
too shy to ask for the Champions League trophy or
Yeah, then
something?
he's
No, it was the World Cup.
The World Cup.
It was the World Cup. It was like everyone made a big point to give it to him, and he's just standing there with the trophies like the size of him.
Have you ever seen the video when he meets someone at the mosque and they invite him back to watch Match
Yes.
of the Day?
That
Yeah,
Chelsea
yeah.
fan, Frankie Khaled or something.
Yeah.
And he's like eating a curry with N'Golo Kante,
What a
watching Match of
guy.
the Day, watching
Yeah.
him play. It's absolutely crazy.
No, I was thinking that a big Chelsea fan invited him to his daughter's wedding, and he turned up.
Really?
Yeah, he just turned up to the
He's so
wedding.
cute, isn't he?
Yeah, the guy he must have liked a few tweets. They followed each other, and he DM'd him like, "Hey, this is my daughter's wedding," and he actually came.
That's
Nah, what a
amazing.
nice guy.
Yeah.
What a
nice
guy.
Yeah, we miss him big time at Chelsea, man.
Yeah.
I wonder. I mean, it's hard to really keep up with him because, again, he's not a goals or assist player. So if he's doing well in Saudi, you only really hear about goals from the Saudi league. Like, Ronaldo's banging in this many goals. Whenever he's getting on, he was
I think
injured.
he just struggled with injuries, yeah.
He's injured like the
Is
last.
it hamstrings, no?
Yeah, I think it was last season. He went on a stretch for Chelsea where he had 4 games, different managers.
But
Yeah,
it catches
That's
up with you.
crazy.
He's
Yeah.
played. Yes, I remember seeing that.
because it was Bruno Salvatore took over for like 2 games,
No,
and one of the
yeah.
games he
But
came
it's
back for.
obviously caught up with him. I mean, that amount of games that he's playing,
Yeah.
the amount of distance that he's
Distance, yeah.
covering. I can imagine he trains the way he plays as well.
So
It's caught up with him.
that is one thing about injuries as well. You
Yeah.
do have to learn from them. It's
Yeah.
either about your play style, about
Yeah.
your body. You have to find out what works for you.
Yeah, yeah.
You have your routine that we're all professionals. That's what we stick to. And
Yeah.
I've added, obviously with being out with the ankle injury, I've added in a whole new list of things that I do.
Oh, me too.
And yeah,
Namaste, my yoga thing,
yeah, exactly.
which I did this morning.
Yeah, this guy
Shout out
loves
Jess
this.
Richberg, by the way.
What's her name? Jess Richberg.
Jessica Richberg.
And
Yeah,
like, seriously, do yoga. Do
Yeah.
yoga. It's so
started a bit
good.
with Wim Hof as well.
yeah. Well,
The Wim Hof, yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, I had a yoga teacher when I was in the States. Just what an amazing lady. One of my mom's friends, my sister was friends with her daughter, Natalie Caulfield, and she does stuff with college athletes. And she was now she does. And she was looking to get into like sports yoga. And I was like, hey, I would love to do stuff. And she would come over every Friday before my matches when I was young. And yeah, I've been doing yoga ever since.
I'm telling you, like if you said to me,
Bro's got a private yoga teacher.
No, it wasn't. Oh, come on.
bro,
No, it
I
wasn't
do
like
it on
that.
YouTube.
Yeah, bro's like,
I don't
yeah,
even
come
have
around
the.
gap,
You
come
can
around the
subscribe
gap.
to it for £20
but
a month. I don't even do that.
It was like for the both of us to like learn. It was like for her to kind of get into sport. And now she works with Rutgers baseball, which is like a really big thing in the States. And yeah, she's in charge of like, because baseball teams are massive. She's in charge like.
Shout out Pacheco.
If
Yeah.
you told me,
Yeah, Isaiah, the boy.
Salmon boy
This guy knows
Pacheco,
too
man.
much about America, bro.
bro, if you told me 5 weeks ago I would be reading and doing yoga every single day, I would have laughed in your face. It is so good.
Yeah.
Like, it's so like it just. My body feels good every day. I feel better for doing it. I go in like, you always hear the cliches like it helps with like the way you breathe and it calms you down and makes you feel better. And you're like,
He needs to be calmed down as well.
I'm like, what are you
The
talking
UFC
about? Like,
fighter.
Yeah.
what are you talking about? But genuinely, do it. Do not care what people think. Do
Yeah.
yoga. It's so good for you. My body feels great. And yeah, I'm trying to. In fact, these boys do it with me when they come around the house.
Yeah,
Namaste.
Again,
Thanks.
in football, it's so weird. You can be fit to play,
Yeah.
but then being loose makes such a
So
difference.
much difference.
There are
So
times
much
you go into a
difference.
match, you're like, "Ooh, I'm stiff today,"
Yeah.
and it does make an impact on performance.
Bro.
And that's you can't see that from the touchline. You can't see how a player feels if you're out there.
Yeah.
You're expected to be in top nick, and
Yeah.
And I think that's what fans don't actually understand is that a lot of the times players are struggling with stuff.
You're playing with- you're
every
playing
single
with a
game.
niggle or
We were saying
something.
on the way here that Gabriel Jesus said in an interview, he was like, he can't remember a time when he didn't play without pain.
Yeah.
And it's just a thing that you have to play through it.
Yeah.
Then you play so many games back to back every single week. 46 games in our regular season without the
It's
FA Cup,
tough.
without the Kent Cup,
It is
without the
tough.
FA Trophy,
Yeah.
without the playoffs.
Yeah.
There are loads and loads of games. And this isn't a sob story or like
Yeah.
with a sympathy.
Yeah, we love it.
We absolutely love it. We have the
exactly.
best job in the world.
Yeah.
Best job in the world. But you have to do these little things.
It's just the reality of it.
You have to do these little things that if they can make you a little bit more supple, if they can make you a little bit more loose, it can help you.
Atomic Habits. For anyone that, please, right, and another thing, reading. Please go and read. Have you read it?
I'm reading
Atomic
it.
Habits.
You're
yeah.
reading
I'm
it. You
reading
haven't
it.
read
I
it.
have my book that I was.
Bro, it's so
See,
good.
some of us have read for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
I have my book I have to finish.
Bro, do not disrespect your girl.
And
Again,
I'm
on
actually
the
someone
pod.
that really I struggle with reading because I get like distracted easily or I just get bored and I don't feel like as entertained. But sometimes you have to just make a conscious decision that what, I'm just going to read a chapter a day.
I've read something the other day. If you read 5 pages a day, no, I swear to God, we can actually put the quote on this. It's something like, because
You
I
can
favourite
do it
Yeah.
when you edit it.
Yeah, all the best.
Yeah, no thanks.
We can
But
actually
if
no,
you,
sorry, you can put it on.
No, genuine. Listen, if you read 5 pages a day of a book, it equates to like 18 books a year. Now, the quote
what's
was,
the average of the books though? 'Cause you
bro,
can read-
shut up. The quote was, if you read 18 books a year, think about how, what?
It's a really good point because what happens if the book's 1,000 pages? Then
No, there's more to it. Like if the book,
On average.
Actually, if the book's 200 pages, that's what it was.
Okay.
If the book's 200 pages and you read 5 pages a day, you're reading 18 books a year. Now think about how much you would improve as a person,
Yeah.
decisions, business ideas, whatever. If you read 18 books a year, do you know what I mean?
100%.
No, of course. Yeah, and one thing that is very important as well, and you alluded to it, and I am taking an inspiration here from you, Boney, is having a checklist of things that you have to do every day. I have one in my phone now, and it's like I have my 3 sets of rehab that I'll do throughout the day. And it becomes a really good feeling when you check it off.
You know what, right? And I also, it's not a journal, but I've started taking down notes as well. You might laugh. I don't actually give.
No, I'm
But I've taken down notes. So you see,
Look at this. He's always on the defensive straight
so
away.
you see in games, right? So the other day I was watching the highlights against Farnborough, and you see when I set Jeffy off for a shot. You remember it?
Yeah.
I've taken the touch
Who
with my
got it in
left
the-
foot.
Who got it in the corner?
Yeah, shout out.
ran
Sol.
across it. at
But
the
I've
centre
taken
half.
it with my left foot, and I've set Jeffy. Now, if I took that touch in with my right foot and took it more in the way, I could have perhaps
Shot
driven
yourself,
in and had a
yeah.
shot myself closer to the goal. So I've jotted that down. And yesterday, a similar sort of instance happened in the game, and that was my first thought. I checked around me. I was like, let me try and take my touch inside with my right foot into the box. That was my first thought. So it just goes to show, if you're taking that down and you're reading that constantly, you're training your brain so that it's just muscle memory.
And it's
and you're switched
the
on
mental
then
game's so
when
important,
it happens. So it's such a big thing to do.
And by writing it down, it's that like accountability.
100%.
And it's how you remember things.
Yeah.
100%.
So it's so
and
important.
honestly, boys, if you'd said this to me like 5 weeks ago about all of this stuff, like I would have just been like, oh, it's such a cliche. Like it has no benefit. You've got to do it to understand why people actually rave about it. Why all these massive CEOs and stuff, they rave about it, because it's so helpful.
It is the one, like, you know, we're all made the same. We all get ready the same way in the morning. There is a reason. Well, yeah, some of us get ready top down. So okay,
It's criminal.
Embarrassing.
I've shot myself in the foot with that.
Yeah.
And what
Do
a
not-
weird thing to say as well. Why did I say we all get ready the same way in the morning? But it's all about those one percenters of
Do you want to hear my favorite saying? That's my favorite saying.
Yeah.
No, it is.
It's about those one percenters and just making
100%.
sure that you really set yourself apart from the pack.
But one of my favorite sayings, sorry, I can't take it serious now, is you attract success by the. Just butchered it.
I knew it was gonna happen.
It's the pressure.
It's so
the
sad.
pressure.
We'll
You-
keep that in.
You
because
can't.
it's natural.
You can't say the quote word for word. I think you just
Yeah.
have to.
No,
roughly
I've got
do
it
it.
You
in
have
my
to
head.
plagiarize.
Let's hear it then.
You attract success by the person you become. So, for example,
Okay, no, that makes sense.
you
That makes
attract
sense.
success by the person that you become.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you're doing all these one percenters, gradually they are making you better as a person, and that's where you start reaping the rewards by certain successes. For example, I'm learning French. All right, well, if I study French every day, and in 2 years' time I
I'm
become
gonna become
fluent,
French.
I could perhaps become a successful French teacher where I'm helping, not French teacher, but I'm helping French people learn English, and
Yeah.
that's a source of income for me. So that's success, because now I've got this income for my family. You know?
How many French words are you down to? Marseille, Bordeaux, Nantes,
Baguette.
Stade Rennes.
Bearing in mind I can actually speak 2 languages.
No.
I've flexed that enough already.
Not the
though.
language of.
Not the language of love.
Yeah, so you're both bilingual. So is English the language of love?
And I'm Spanish.
Yeah. And you know, I have American and English. You know, mate, bro.
Don't try and
Lactose.
brother, shut up. Right, takes us on to the last section of the video. We wanted to chat about obviously the championship and
Oh,
Coventry
forgot
and
about that.
Ipswich. My boys, Ipswich are going strong at the minute. Well, mind you, they're third as we speak. Might change obviously because this is on the Sunday, but I think they're a point with a game in hand
Yep.
behind Leeds.
I hope they
Um,
do it, man.
I hope
Got
they
beat
get
to
to.
Norwich on Saturday, which was rubbish. Not rubbish in the fact they were
It's a big-
rubbish,
it's a
but it's
derby,
just
isn't it?
obviously
Yeah.
we basically support Ipswich now, so we want them to get promoted. Obviously,
Ipswich and Coventry.
Yeah.
And Bristol
yeah.
City.
An Ipswich automatic promotion in Coventry via the playoffs. Ooh, what a
Via.
dream that would be.
Via.
That would
How do
actually
you
be
say
my
via?
coldest
Via,
moment.
yeah.
Beating Ipswich when they get promoted to the Prem. That would be my chat line in the
We're never going to
nightclubs.
get an Ipswich player on now if we're going to be calling them out like that.
Oh, okay. We'll edit that out.
no, we won't. No, we're only joking.
Yeah, wow, you look great tonight, darling. Oh, by the way, you know I beat Ipswich, saying it in like 2035. Well, hopefully you're not still single in 2035. With the way we're going at the moment, we might be.
Maybe
Facts.
squeezing himself into Connor Chapman's shirt as well.
Yeah, I put that on. In fact, no, we said it last week, didn't I? We slapped that on when they beat, who was it in the last minute? Sarmiento.
Southampton.
Southampton.
But I do
Southampton.
think that Southampton might win the playoffs.
They look good, don't they?
Yeah,
look
I
very
think They
good.
can win the playoffs. Obviously, Adam Armstrong's on over 10 assists, 20 goals. Like, he's on absolute flames at the moment.
Their
Yeah,
stats
it's-
are ridiculous this year, aren't
Yeah.
they, for possession and stuff like that.
But Russell Martin, the old Swansea manager, he plays such good football.
Yeah.
Such good football.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
And that's one of those coaches actually that's transitioned from being a player, obviously played so many years for Norwich, to actually being a really quite successful coach.
I almost think it's the players that aren't massive that are best at it, because a lot of the times the players that are just unbelievable are just so good athletically, and the game just comes so easily to them that they have trouble vocalizing it. Like again, I loved him as a player, and he's getting back into coaching again after taking a break. But Henry, I think it must be so difficult to coach a striker and just being like, oh, you just can't do what I was
Did
doing.
you
There was
tell me the
a
story?
story about when he was at Montreal.
Yeah.
And
Well, those guys definitely can't do what he was doing.
No, but the players were complaining. They were doing a possession and trying to do some finishing stuff, and they were complaining, saying that the area is too small. The area is too small. And Omri was saying, no, it's not.
It was
with
it
Bradley
was-
Wright Phillips.
Yeah, it was the Bradley Wright Phillips.
And he's
and
saying,
he went in the midfield,
yeah, he
didn't
said, the area is too small. The area is too small. And he says, no, it's not. He said, I'm going to play then. And he ended up playing, picked the ball up, ran through everyone and scored. And he was like, is the area still too small?
Yeah, it was like a box where the center halves would play into a very tight midfield, who would then have to transition to the strikers, and he subbed a central midfielder out
For himself.
and was just bossing it basically.
But that's
but
why-
that was
because-
when he was with the Red Bulls. That was as a player.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Wright Phillips was there.
But it must be because when you're that good of a player, and you have to understand that, and even like Gaffer and Craig have to understand that we are not at the level of the Premier League players which they played at.
Yeah.
So sometimes it can be quite hard at first to transition into
100%.
what you expect your players to do
Definitely.
and be able to do, and to understand the game in the same way. And it's
And
also
to understand
the same.
why they can't do
Exactly.
that.
But it's also the same way
Yeah.
for Gaffer and Craig, that the way that they can play in the Prem and the style of football, you can't play the way that they play in the Prem in the Conference South.
Yeah.
It's not. It
You've
doesn't
got to have
work.
just a bag of ideas.
Yeah, you have to.
You've got to be
The
so
only-
good at
the only-
adapting and.
Yeah, the only Prem side that would work in National South is prime Stoke City under Tony Poulos.
They're on a
Long
Wednesday
Farmer's
night.
long throw.
Yeah.
Damn, they're on a
Roy
Wednesday night.
What
Yeah.
about the throw last night of the
Ireland
the
women.
Go
women?
and watch it.
Oh my God.
Well,
The
I'll try and
Ireland
put it in.
women's
I don't know if
national
we
team.
can with the copyright and all.
Oh my
No,
goodness!
you just type it in on
it
Twitter.
went like nearly 40 meters.
Island throw,
Yeah.
and you'll see it. It was madness.
It was huge.
And again, we don't.
that
wanna-
was longer than Roy Delap.
That's what I'm saying. You don't want to like compare men's and women's football. That would have been an unbelievable throw in like the Prem.
100%.
Oh
you
my-
could, bro. You can. I say it all the time.
38
Was it
meters,
38
nearly 40
meters?
You can make a career of having a long throw. Who's the brother that plays for Barnet?
Barnet, Jordan Cropper. They basically he signed on the Friday, or on the Saturday morning. We
Connor.
were playing against him in the FA Trophy, and they were like, "Oh, he's meant to have a bit of a long throw, brother."
Connor.
He grabbed the ball quickly from the halfway line and he launched it in behind into the
He
box.
threw it over my head.
Into the box.
But,
And
like, we-
Kabamba's through. I was like, oh my god.
But like we were like we respected the fact that he had a long throw. So obviously our line's like a little bit deeper than usual. He throws it over our line.
It
And
was,
it was just
massive.
ridiculous.
And then every single thing from the side, because the Gallagher's not huge. Anything from the halfway line
Yeah.
into the box.
It's such a cool thing to actually. Speaking of Tony Poulos, he was on a podcast and he was talking about Rory Delap, and you would think that like, oh, everyone knew he had this long throw. Apparently, they were just throwing it after training.
Yeah.
And when the assistant managers came in to get him, he'd already gone inside. They were just having like I think it was 50 quid for who could throw the farthest. Like, you gotta come out and see this. It's like, have you been able to do this the whole time?
Do you know?
It's like, yeah, he was a
Javelin.
Javelin,
He used
yeah.
to be like a javelin champion or whatever
Yeah.
for like under 13s or something. And
Yeah.
ever
It
since
is,
then,
man.
he's been able to just train
That's,
it.
that's all he's known for as well, and he was actually a good footballer.
League of Ireland. Can we do a little segment on
Well,
the
it's
League
One of my
Ireland?
favorite leagues to watch.
Guys, listen.
Wait.
For the people that are League of Ireland supporters, just know every Friday. I look forward to my Fridays, don't I?
He's always
Yeah.
on a break
I
on
am
Friday.
always break on Fridays, always.
And the
the
rest
boys
of the
know.
days.
My housemate knows as well. Fridays is in the evening. It's my time with the TV. Love watching it, but I think they've just finished the first round of games. Shells are top at the moment,
Looking good.
so they're
That's
looking
Damien Duff's
so
team,
good.
right?
Yeah,
Looking very good.
Shells are looking so. I got a few pals at Shell. John actually, who was on FaceTime. But yeah, now Shells are looking so good. He's got them so well set up though. Like last year, they conceded the least amount of goals, and this season they've looked so solid as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they do as the league goes on. Rovers had a slow start, but they're winning games now. Beat Bows a few weeks back in the derby.
There's actually, funny enough, a few American players that have gone over there.
Yeah.
And Vince Borden, who used to play again for Rutgers in New Jersey, I played against my entire youth career growing up. I was like, boy, looks familiar.
Yeah.
I didn't know what he was up to. I was like, oh my God, he's playing for Galway United.
Yeah. That's who we watched last week against Bows, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because you wanted to watch it. That was on the, I think it was could have been Monday evening, no? Easter
Yeah,
Monday.
it was the Easter Monday, yeah.
Bows
Galway
actually-
looks lovely, by the way.
Galway's a lovely setup.
Yeah.
It could be a big club, boys. It can attract players.
I might be embarrassing myself here because they might have been away. Whatever the ground was, it looked really nice.
It was Galway. It was at
Oh,
Galway.
okay, yeah,
but
yeah.
I've played there a few times, and it's a lovely setup. And like I said, because of everyone knows Galway. Everyone knows Galway and Dublin.
Yeah.
They got away because of Ed Sheeran.
Exactly. you can attract so many good players, and they've got a good budget and stuff. I think they'll do well this year. Derry. I'm actually really enjoying this little League of Ireland segment.
Yeah.
But Derry have made some good signings. They beat Dundalk the other day.
Dundalk are struggling, bless them, aren't they?
4-1. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They are.
We are
struggling
Dundalk
and-
supporters. We want to see
Yeah,
Dundalk
we watched Dundalk. Obviously, my last club there. So sad news about Stevie, but I guess that's football, innit? It's a results business. Stevie, man, one of the best managers I've worked under, and I think that's maybe
Yeah.
that I rave about him. And I'm not
Yeah.
just saying that because it's a podcast, but I think that maybe goes under the radar because of the recent results. But he is just his analysis, his knowledge of it is so good. Like his meetings and even the way he inspires, like his team talks and all before the games. Like you'd be going out I always remember when we played when I was at Pats with Stevie and we played Bowls in the final, and we set up. We didn't have a striker. We played like a box. So we played a box in midfield and 2 out wide, and I remember we tried it out against Finn Harps and we drew the game like 2-2 or something. And you're like thinking, nah, this isn't going to work. Surely he's just going to change it to 1 up top or something, you know? But the way he like laid out his information and what he wanted from the players, you genuinely were like, oh my God, after the game, like once we did it and we started then working on it and we were watching tape and going, right, we need to do this better when we play in the final. You were genuinely going on the pitch going, oh my God, like this is genuinely going to work.
Yeah.
And it worked.
We played right back then.
Yeah. And it actually worked. We were getting so much joy from it. So it's just his ideas. And like you could say to him, like, did you see that 3rd division Polish player, his podcast the other day where he was talking about his injury? He'd be like, yeah, I saw that. Like he's just football mad.
Yeah.
Football
mad.
And I think from an outsider looking in as well, when someone is that obsessed, you always want them to do well.
Yeah, no, he
And that's
is
why-
obsessed.
And
bro.
you know, in the end, they do end up doing well.
Yeah.
Like
Bro,
regardless,
I'm telling you.
I'm sure he'll be so successful. in
He will
his-
be
his
so
next job,
successful.
yeah.
I put money on it. He will be so
Don't know if you
successful.
put money on these type of things. The FA might come
Yeah,
knocking on the door.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, just trying to get a new deal as well.
Not like that. What, with...
Hey, when Stevie gets a new club, first person to go, cool. But he doesn't want to play right back anymore, so...
Well,
No,
hey,
look,
if,
it is sad because obviously I've got a good relationship with him, but he'll go on to do very good thing. Very, very, very good manager. And that's obviously gone under the radar, so...
well, I think that's a good place for us to wrap up. This has been a crazy all over the place podcast. Champions League, League of Ireland,
League
National
of Ireland, babe. Woo.
Self-help, but no.
FIFA career mode, Coventry.
Yeah, we've
actually
and as
stopped
you
at
can
the
hear,
right
the
time.
locals
I
are
literally heard
coming
the
in.
They're
locals are
pouring
coming
in.
in.
They're pouring
Yeah.
in for their midday punts.
Yeah, so yeah, I've really enjoyed this, boys, and we'll hopefully we'll have some guests on in the future, but it's one of those that we can't get guests on every week, and
Gotta fit their
we almost
schedule,
don't want to have guests
No, of
on every
course.
week because we don't want to stray away from just us speaking basically.
I think we're also speaking about keeping you guys involved, and even if you have any questions that we've not answered, anything from the Q&A, we can always do a little section where there's only us 3, and we can answer your questions.
Yeah.
And I see that other podcasts do it, and that could be a way that we can really engage with you.
Yeah, 100%. Well, there we go.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Well, I'll catch you in the next one, guys.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.